Welcome to a new daily top Askreddit video. Today's topic: what's something you should always keep in your car? Blanket. Surprised I had to scroll so far for this. Blankets are important if you break down in a cold rural location, but also if you get too lit at the party you can sleep it off before driving home. Update: looks like folks are saying you can get arrested for sleeping in your car. Please avoid getting a DUI by using your car blanket to make a blanket fort. If the cops don't know the secret password, you have no legal obligation to let them into your blanket fort, probably. P.S. Be aware of your local statutes. This is why owning a minivan is fucking awesome. I have a trifold memory foam mattress and a nice blanket that lives in my car. On more than one occasion I have folded down the seats and took a lovely sleep. Toolkit: jumper cables. Good snow removing tool, if it snows where you live, and de-icer. I'm paranoid enough in the wintertime to always have boots, gloves, water and a blanket too. I live in a more urban area but frequently travel into the mountains for work. I throw in a gallon of water, a sleeping bag, and a change of clothes suitable for mountain weather. A firefighter friend has pulled a number of dead bodies out of car accidents where the accident only killed the car, the people froze to death. One that sticks out is a pair of college-aged girls heading up to meet friends at house in Tyre. They drove up wearing bikini tops in winter and froze to death after sliding off the highway. I don't know if they had warmer clothes they just didn't change into or if a friend had their bags in a separate car, but he was pretty bummed out about that one. If those girls had a wool blanket, sleeping bags, or coats they'd have been cold but alive. Asterisk prepared, not paranoid. Jumper cables. Deleted. My dad beat me with a battery pack doesn't have the same ring to it. Tire repair kit plus tire inflator. Or a spare. Remember when cars used to come with spare tires? Pepperidge Farm remembers. Flashlight. I carry a bat that has a flashlight in the end. It also has a pulsing light feature to blind attackers. And then the bat part to whack attackers. Damn, you got a link. I have some Malaysia friends that would be delighted I knowing about this. Headlight, keeps the hands free to work. I keep 2 headlights in my car just in case. It's helped on numerous occasions while driving in the dark. Water. This is excellent advice, it's even better if you combine it with a water bottle. Also blankets and non-perishable snacks will make a breakdown much more bearable. I keep my water loose in my trunk to save money. Phone charger. A spare charger. One that you know it's in good condition and will work on case of emergency. Chargers in a car tend to get beat up and fail. Dashcam. Front and back dashcam. More vehicles should come with built-in cameras as standard. I've seen a few posts of Teslas with their 360 degrees camera coverage and it's absolutely incredible. Total peace of mind. Unless you're a terrible driver, I guess, then it'd suck. Kleenex and paper towels. Never know when you might get the urge to jerk off. Those long drives can get pretty boring. Lots of people saying gas, they might mean in the tank, but do not keep it in your trunk, or boot, whatever. It degrades and evaporates in 3 to 6 months. Keep a gas canister with a little money inside, enough to fill it. Also gas in your boot is just terrible for your foot. Especially if your boots are made by diesel. I did the keep spare gas in trunk thing and my car ended up stinking of gas. And constant exposure to gasoline fumes causes cancer. Money. I always keep a $20 bill hidden in my car in case I need to buy food, water, gas, pay a toll, etc. And don't have a debit card. I keep €200, around $240, because you never know. A few years ago, the area I lived in lost power for an extended period of time. Gas was short, so even places with generators didn't have power. Places wouldn't take debit cards because there wasn't the capability. And ATMs were soon empty, and places ran out of small bills to give change when people showed up to buy goods. After that, I started putting all my singles and $5 bills into an envelope in my house at the end of each week. It is only about $300 as I don't use cash that often, so there are usually only a few bills to add to it each week, but I feel much better having it, because as you said, you just never know. First aid kit, maps, and emergency supplies. A fire extinguisher. Removed. A fire extinguisher. About 2 years ago I was in the car with my parents when all of a sudden the gears stopped responding and smoke starting coming out of the front and back. We parked on the side of the road, opened the front and a piece, I think it was the battery, was burning. It was only put out because a man who was passing by riding a motorcycle quickly stopped, took off his jacket, soaked it in water from a bottle that he had with him, and covered the fire with it. Turns out he was an ex-fireman. You probably shouldn't always count on being that lucky. You got really, really lucky. You're very unable to be able to put out a vehicle fire if your car catches on fire, and you're unlikely to really even be able to open the hood. Usually if a car lights on fire, it's gone. They are more useful if someone else has a crash and their car lights on fire. If you catch an accident right after it happens, you can potentially put out a fire caused by the accident. This allows correctly trained people to extract the occupants of the other car instead of dragging them out and possibly harming or killing them in the process. Pro tip: large trucks carry fire extinguishers. My employer's trucks have 2 each, a small one in the cab and a 4 kilograms above the near side drive wheels. About 6 months ago, I saw a car broken down on the hard shoulder of a motorway. Because of the terrain, I could see under the car and the flames under the front. I pulled off and stopped ahead of the car, grabbed the big extinguisher and ran toward it. As I came close, I shouted to the driver to get out. Nothing. Get out of the fucking car. Right now. Out. Out. The car is on fire. Get out. The driver didn't get out and I triggered the extinguisher under the car, still yelling. The flames abated, but wouldn't go out completely. Something burning was dripping from the engine bay where the extinguisher couldn't reach. I ran to the driver's door to get the bonnet release, and the reason for the lack of response became apparent: the driver wasn't in the car. I looked toward the roadside, and saw him standing under a tree, looking confused and more than a little terrified. Open the bonnet. He unlatched it and I crouched down and to the side to open it. No fireball, and I hit the remaining flames with the extinguisher. Crisis over. He hadn't realized the car was burning until the screaming maniac with the fire extinguisher turned up. I left it with him and carried on. My employer's reaction? Generally positive. Sure, it cost them a fire extinguisher, but a burning vehicle would have closed the motorway for up to an hour, delaying dozens of our trucks on a Friday afternoon. So yeah, trucks carry fire extinguishers. An escape tool. At least $50 in cash. I second this. You get one for fairly cheap, and the one I have also comes with a built-in seat belt cutter at the bottom end. I hope I'm never in a situation where I need to use it, but knowing I have it in my car gives me some sort of tranquility. Lol. Do not keep condoms in your car. The latex breaks down under heat and are susceptible to breaking when you use them. Other condom facts in case anyone here actually had the opportunity to a condom. Keeping condoms in your wallet/purse makes them degrade faster. Replace them every 3 months, I think. Lipsticks and balms can also make them less effective too. If your condoms are sitting in your wallet for more than 3 months without being used, then there's really no reason to keep them in your wallet. Lol. That's a lesson that I always try to teach my 12 kids. Fire extinguisher. This is true. In Chile it's the law that you have to have one. That's really thoughtful. This law is hella important. Shoes. You never know when you have to run. Once a lady rear-ended me on a 110 degrees Fahrenheit day, 43 degrees Celsius, and her 2 kids, who were probably elementary school age, had no shoes whatsoever. Her car was full of airbag dust and broken glass, so I had to let them sit in my truck while she waited to get picked up. It was that or burning their feet on the boiling hot black top. You'll never know when you'll have to leave your car in a hurry. IMO, not only should you have shoes, they should be on your feet at all times while in the car. Little wild that I have to put this in writing, but I have shoes on always if I am not in my home or a body of water. Every other time, the shoes stay on, right alongside my nipple tassels. My dad didn't even let us wear flip-flops in the truck cause, as he said, if we get into an accident and you have to quickly run away from the truck, looking for your flip-flops or running on debris are your only 2 options, and neither are good. Geese. If a cop pulls you over, and you have upwards of 10 live geese in your car, that officer really has to think about whether or not he wants to deal with that situation. Or if you're in the UK, a swan. Policeman officers are often looking for them. No luck catching them swans then. yourself. Wear your seat belts. If I'm being honest, I only partially do this. I always make sure I wear at least one though. Toilet paper, flashlight, knife, wet wipes, blanket, a can of motor oil, jumper cables, and a couple of dollars. This is a kit I put together in every single car I ever had. I keep toilet paper in my car. Initially it was just something I figured I was likely to forget camping. Then COVID hit. Americans panicked and bought out all the toilet paper. I ran out before stores had finally restocked. Then I remembered the roll in the car. It absolutely saved my week. I just have mine for work shits. Commercial toilet paper is a goddamn crime, I tell you what.